let's play a quick game of association. I'll say something and you respond with the first thought that pops into your head. Insect.
Mosquito.
Invasion.
Body snatchers. War.
Rat.
What?
Rat.
Think.
Come on, come on.
Mouse.
Vermin.
Vermin. Unclean.
Unwanted.
Child.
Come on, there are more of you.
Carbohydrates.
Alien.
Invasion.
Liberal.
Democrat.
Conservative.
Republican. Closed. Limited.
Terror.
Fear.
Usurper.
Take over. Impose.
Unwanted. Okay.
They're hard.
I know. All of these words have been used multiple times in this week's news events. Other words used in our news cycles over the past few years have been murderers, rapists, not real Americans, go back home, supremacist, fine people. You catch the drift. Words have power. Words are layered and nuanced. To some, there are multi-dimensions to any given word or phrase or sentence. Joyce Meyer wrote, quote, that words are containers for power. You choose what kind of power they carry. George Orwell was fond of saying, but if thought corrupts language, language can also corrupt thought. Let us just momentarily concentrate on the words we reacted to just a minute ago. Once you thought you knew what the words I used to incite your reaction, my bet is that your image was that of the scourge of violence that we have endured this past week. I also mixed in words used by the German so-called Third Reich to talk about the Jewish people. Words have power. Words have nuance. Words have meaning that can inspire and be halting. The evolution of our Judaism is bound up in words. Words from the Torah, the rabbis, the Talmud, the writers, the thinkers, the musicians, the people in the pews, children, all through words. In our lifetime, we have found new words for prayers and meditations, interpretations of words written decades, centuries, even millennia ago. Words and meanings that mattered long ago are lost to us now. Our own words will soon be bereft of meaning and lost to future generations. Yet, some still survive. Some still have a meaning to us. Maybe not as originally uttered, but have grown, been nurtured and restated, revised and been rewritten, been argued and agreed to, been like a living document that guides us through time and space. Devarim, the book of Deuteronomy, starts this Shabbat. This week's portion is called Devarim as well. It starts, these are the words that Moses addressed to all Israel on the other side of the Jordan. These are the words, the encapsulation of the Jewish people's journey from Sinai to the edge of the land flowing with milk and honey. These are the words of Moses after bearing witness to the greatness of Adonai and the crucial elements of peoplehood and nationhood that was simultaneously growing. These are the words. And even still, these words have been altered by time, eras, influenced by translators and thinkers, interpreted by scholars and commoners. Yet the essence of the words remain as clear as glass to some, and as misty and fog-like to others. Come to Torah study when it resumes, and this will be a truism on public display. The power of words brought about a people and a reverence for the Holy One. When we go home and listen to the words used to describe the others, or those to whom we disagree with, let alone those hateful, violent people in our midst, let us remember that words matter, that our free speech can be a double-edged sword, that hate speech, whether overt or coded, is still made up of words, words that should be dismissed and left upon the trash heap of history. Erich Fromm said, quote, "There is no phenomenon which contains so much destructive feeling as moral indignation, which permits envy or hate to be acted out under the guise of virtue." May we be guided by words that are constructive and inclusive. May we use our words to break down the darkness and evil associated with extremism, hate, and intolerance. May we be reminded that words can hurt, and more powerfully, words can heal. Like Moses did at the edge of the Jordan, let us be shapers and tellers of a bright future based on the past and ever looking toward the future with words of wisdom, words of openness, and words of love. Ken Yehi Ratzon, be this God's will. We now turn to page 586 as we start to conclude our Shabbat service. Please rise for the Aleinu. And evil shall give way to integrity and goodness, when superstition shall no longer enslave the mind, nor idolatry blind the eye. O may all created in your image become one in spirit and one in friendship, forever united in your service. Then shall your realm be established on earth, and the word of your prophet fulfilled. Adonai will reign forever and ever. nature's ebb and flow, God's eternal law abides. When tears dim our vision or grief clouds our understanding, we often lose sight of God's eternal plan. Yet we know that growth and decay, life and death, all reveal a divine purpose. God is our support in the struggles of life, is also our hope in death. We have set God before us and shall not despair. In God's hands are the souls of all the living and the spirits of all flesh. Under God's protection we abide, and by God's love are we comforted. O life of our life, soul of our soul, cause your light to shine into our hearts and fill our spirits with abiding trust in you. Tonight, during Shana, the first year after burial, we remember Ethel Berman, mother of Andy Berman, Ann Campbell, mother of Mike Campbell, Florence Burris, mother of Karen Pfeffer, Eugene Bugby, father of Martha Bugby, Rose Foster, mother of Andy Weitzman, Susan Rosen, mother of Michaela Rosen and Max Rosen, Cheryl Seide, mother of Laura and Aaron Seide, David Ferris, father of Emily Farley, William Thompson, stepfather of Grace Cooper, Ann Cutler, mother of Mark Cutler, Emmanuel Block, father of Abby Block. We also draw together to remember the people who have fallen this past week in acts of unparalleled violence in the United States. Unfortunately, our yahrzeit list is not published this week, so I ask if there are any people here tonight celebrating a yahrzeit. Binding to our hearts and our minds those people who are mentioned aloud and in the silent recesses of our minds, we rise as a congregation to remember those and to pray for God's rule. The Kaddish can be found on page 598. Yitkadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah, v'yalma divra kirutei v'yalmilik malchutei, v'chayechon u'vyomechon, u'v'chayei d'chol beit Yisrael, v'agala u'v'zman gariv, v'yimru amen. Yehei shmei Rabbah mivorach le'olam olamei olmaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach, v'yitpa'ar v'yitraman v'yitnaseh, v'yithadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal shmei d'kodisha barichu. Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'ne'emata, da'amiran v'yalma v'yimru amen. Yehei shalom araba min shamaya, v'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael, v'yimru amen. Osei shalom b'mramav, hu ya'asei shalom, aleinu v'al kol Yisrael, v'yimru amen. May the source of peace send peace to all who mourn, and comfort the bereaved among us, and as a community, together we say, Amen. Please be seated.
Good evening. My name is Cindy Highwile, and I'm a representative on the board of Temple at Zion. Thank you, Richard, for leading us in prayer, and David for being our cantorial soloist. All is a little quiet right now, but the rabbi does come back from vacation and will lead us in prayer next week. So let's give him a nice welcome back, although he's wandering all over the place. It's hard to keep up with him. Not a whole heck of a lot going on. At the end of the month, August 24th, I invite all the ladies in the room to our Sisterhood Welcome luncheon on the 24th of August at the home of Jamie Solomon Zissou, and hopefully her deck will be all complete and we can all socialize in her new sunroom. It's a 4 brunch. If you have any questions, you can ask me about it. And with that, Shabbat Shalom.
And so our Shabbat service is coming to a close, and we will end by singing Oseh Shalom, the newer version. Please sing.
Oseh Shalom Bimromav, Hu Yaseh Shalom Aleinu, Ve'akol Yisrael, Ve'akol Yoshvei Tevel, Ve'imru, Amen. Oseh Shalom Bimromav, Hu Yaseh Shalom Aleinu, Ve'akol Yisrael, Ve'akol Yoshvei Tevel, Ve'imru, Amen. Oseh Shalom Bimromav, Hu Yaseh Shalom Aleinu, Ve'akol Yisrael, Ve'akol Yoshvei Tevel, Ve'imru, Amen.
Yivarechecha Adonai v'yishmerecha. May God bless you and protect you. Ya'er Adonai panav elecha v'yikunecha. May God's face shed light upon you and be gracious unto you. Yaseh Adonai panav elecha v'yasem lacha shalom. May God lift up God's face unto all of us. Give us the power to use words wisely and be partners in the greatest gift of all, the gift of peace. Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom, friend. How are you?
Tired.
You've been on the road.
Literally chaos and draining week.
Training?
No,
Draining.
Oh, draining.
no air conditioning in your camp.
No, yeah.
Just saying.
Yeah.
Just, I'm sorry. Took a day off tonight.
Yeah.
This time, at least this evening.